Hanmer Springs Cemetery is a beautiful little burial ground just outside of Hanmer Springs. So if you find yourself up in this part of northern Canterbury, relaxing a little bit in the pools, why not come up and have a wee walk around the cemetery? It is nice to be getting a little bit of sunshine for once, and so I look a little bit more alive myself. I have had some major lack of vitamin D for the last few years. Not right now, although I am in a jacket. Probably need to ditch that. But there was a memorial actually over to the corner here I seen before I was up here, and it's kind of got a really interesting sort of addition to that grave. So let's go find that. The last time I was here, the wind was going crazy and these trees were moving about like mad. So you probably do want to pick your days, but it's looking pretty good today. And I have to say, this is a really lovely little cemetery. It's a bit historic, but there's obviously some sections down the back. You can see there where it's still in use. And one of the coolest things to me about this is there's just these really cool little unique monuments that I've been noticing since I've been back here in Aotearoa New Zealand. Like, there's this tendency to use these sort of rough cut stones as monuments. And yeah, you might have heard me in another video say I'm finding them really striking. I think they're really lovely. It really just gives a feel to this sort of Alpine town that we're in and that they would have been a part of. Some beautiful words, the epitaphs. And you get these mixtures of plants. We've got some, oh, the sun through there, tussock off in the background. These, as I showed you before there's the pine trees surrounding us. Massive. Although, first off, check this right here. Donald Ross, killed by lightning. Poor fella. This is actually a really beautiful monument. Obviously, one thing that gives the Scottishness of this person away is the name, Ross. The fact that it says he was born in Ross-shire, Scotland. But if you look at the top, it actually has these beautiful Scottish thistles. And of course, the three lions. Very cool. But if we just wander down here, so you do have these wee fences around the graves, which is pretty common on a family plot. But there is something else. In the early 1800s, there was a big issue with body snatchers, or the resurrectionists as they were called, particularly the famous pair of Burke and Hare, who were operating from Edinburgh. And as a result, the people in Scotland and in other parts of the world went about establishing some kinds of ways to stop people from stealing bodies, which they were doing to give to the medical schools as a way to, well, further science, but, you know, pretty disrespectfully. So one thing you had is a thing called a mortsafe, where they would make an iron cage that would go over the top of the burial. Usually it was temporary, but some are still in place if you're there, and you can check out my other videos that will cover some of that. And the idea of this was it would be in place until the body decomposed. And there wasn't really any need for this in New Zealand, but I have actually found one here that is sort of similar. So this is a bit of a baffling one. I mean, this is really cool. I've seen headstones like the one at the end there. It's kind of, see if I can get down to see that. The shape, kind of like the end of the bed. Pretty common in England, actually. I've seen it in a lot of the historic cemeteries in England. Not a lot here, but some. But yeah, this cage, I wouldn't say was a mortsafe per se. Obviously, if someone was trying to dig up the decomposing or yet to be decomposing remains of your loved ones, this probably wouldn't have stopped them. I'd say, looking at the end with the flowers, that this might have just been more ornamentary, or perhaps really just to try to stop cattle and whatnot, which would have likely have been around here. I mean, you can sort of see the fields that are now largely full of pylons and whatnot, but this was farm area. In fact, just near here is the largest farm in New Zealand. But it's really cool to see something like this. It's just really unique. I've never seen anything like this here in Aotearoa. If you've seen a monument that has a similar kind of cage like that somewhere in New Zealand, Aotearoa, let me know. I would love to know where they are. This is a really lovely cemetery to visit, and the wee shelter up over my shoulder has a bit of a layout of the graves and who's buried there. It's well worth coming to check out. You do kind of need to keep moving, because I am finding that the longer I stand in one spot, the more I get eaten up by mosquitoes and various other bugs. So I guess that's my cue to go find another place.